following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com present Lincoln Community High School Rail Splitter Football. WLCN's live stream video coverage of Railer football is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Chestnut Health Systems, offering a comprehensive scope of behavioral health and human services in Illinois and Missouri. Phone 888-924-3786. Me Realty, locally owned and operated. Me Realty is Logan County's top producing real estate agency year after year. Call 217-735-5424 or browse listings online at merealty.com. Farm and Home Supply. Shop Farm and Home Supply for all your farm, home, and outdoor needs. Stop by at 1501 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Triplet Heating and Cooling, servicing all brands of residential and commercial HVAC systems in the Lincoln and Logan County area. Call 217-651-8683, Triplet Heating and Cooling, an authorized Bryant dealer. Hollandberry and Bennett Funeral Home, providing peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Family owned and operated by Chris and Leslie Bennett. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com. Town & Country Bank, a proud sponsor of Lincoln Railer football, Town & Country Bank helps empower the financial well-being of communities, one person at a time. Online at townandcountrybank.com. Thank you for watching WLCN's coverage of Lincoln Rail Splitter football.
Vital to the effort tonight.
Coach, an exciting night, a small college-type atmosphere here tonight. You can hear the roar of the crowd down below as the teams come out on the field. And right now we'll tell you about the Lincoln defense, that four-man front line. Jared Fultz, he's one of the defensive ends. Where's number 41? He's 5'10", 180. Nico Sundin, where's the double nickel? He's 5'7", 195. Evan Wackendorf plays both sides of the football. Where's number 73? He's a junior, 6'1", 300. Also Frank Sanders on both sides of the line. He's a sophomore. Where's number 69? He's 6'2", and 195. The linebackers for Lincoln, Jaden Ledley, where's the number 22? He's 6'2", 160. He plays both sides. Also Peyton Johnson, who wears the number 17. He's 5'8", 165. And getting a start tonight as one of the linebackers for Lincoln, the young sophomore, Jaden Gully. He's 5'9", 180. You heard him earlier in one of our games, and he's a good athlete, and he is a sophomore, so he's getting his shot tonight for Coach. The corners are Kenai Carson and Christian Brown. Brown wears the number 1. He's a junior, 5'6", 135. And Kenai is a junior, 5'11", 145. The corners are, the safeties are Colby Glenn and Isaac Decker. You can depend on those guys. Colby Glenn, both sides of the line. He's a junior, number 8, 5'11", 160. And Isaac Decker, number 13, a senior captain, 5'10", 155.
I'll tell you, they just had the flip of the coin. The Railers won the flip. They decided not to make a decision. They left it over to Triad. They decided to receive the ball. So Lincoln will be kicking off to start this game, and then start the second half. The Railers will be getting the ball.
Of course, our kicker for the Rail Splitters is Angel Harrow, and he always does a fine job for the Rail Splitters, and it'll be up to the kickoff team to stop the Triad Knights deep in their own territory to start this game. And now we get ready for the national anthem. We'll be back after this. He'll be along the sidelines, but wish he was out there, but unfortunately he hurt his hand and he won't be playing tonight. The Rail Splitters will kick the ball away. Angel Harrow will kick the ball away, and of course all our kickoffs sponsored by Chicago Street Rentals, located at 1909 North Kickapoo Street in Lincoln, Illinois. And of course Perry Weinbrenner and his crew out there will get anything you need for your construction job. Angel Harrow wears the number 4. Of course, he does the long approach. Last week it was 15 yards. He's going to do 13 yards tonight, and he'll get off a good boot for the Rail Splitters. And you can hear the Triad crowd in the background. And Lloyd Kirby told me my voice sounded so good tonight, he gave me a brand new headset.
Is that why?
I think so. What will only hold up to the game right now is we're waiting for the band to get off the field, and they look like about a marching 100.
Yeah, they're taking them a while to get off, but as soon as they do, and they're getting close, we'll be ready to start this game.
I see Kenai Carson out there on the kickoff team, along with Isaac Decker. Angel waits for the whistle. Ryan Fruget also out there for the Rail Splitters, along with Peyton Bunner. And there's the whistle. And here's Angel on the approach. And we're underway on the soccer-style kick. Going to get it at the 21, and he drops it, and a Railer's there, and he knocks him down. The intended man to run the ball up couldn't pick it up. He went back and got it. One of the Railers knocked him to the turf.
I think that was Kenai Carson down there first to hit him, and was right there on it as he tried to pick up the ball. So they have no return on that kick. It wasn't a particularly long kick, but it was effective, and then they're going to start on the 21-yard line.
Excellent job by Kenai Carson. He evaded all would-be blockers.
That might have been Keon. I'm sorry. I said Kenai. I think it was Keon.
Keon, okay, now out quickly, no huddle over the football is their center, and they're ready to go. That's Jason Drake. The quarterback is Nick Funk. Funk is a senior. He's got the snap out of the gun, hands to his fullback. He's got Warringmoom along the side. He's going to have a first down and more, stays on his feet, and he's finally taken down around the 37-yard line. That was Drake Keller, their senior fullback. Got some good blocking up the center of their line and picks up immediately another first down for the Knights.
It looked like a Railer might have had him near the line of scrimmage, but he squirmed away from that and then picked out some good running room.
No huddle offense, the 37-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Knights. Funk out of the shotgun. He's got a man in motion out of the wing formation. He gets the handoff. He tries to make the turn. He does to the 40, to the 45, to the 41 before he's knocked down. Good job there by the Railer defense on the tackle for the Rail Splitters with Jaden Ledley, number 22 for Lincoln.
Triad runs an offense a lot like the Lincoln Railers. They try to get to the outside, and they did that time and got some good yardage, about 8 yards on the pickup.
Going to be second and a deuce. Out of the gun again, it's Nick Funk. He's got his fullback Keller behind him in a wing formation, just like Lincoln. He wants to throw this time, rolls out to his left, and he may run with the football, and he does. He's got a first down and more into Lincoln territory at the 49-yard line. Try and pick up who the tackle was made for Lincoln across the way. And it was Jaden Ledley again, number 22 for the Rail Splitters. Ledley, one of the captains for the Rail Splitters. 1st and 10 at the 49 in Lincoln territory for the Triad Knights. Out of the shotgun they come, the wing formation, man in motion. They hand to the man in motion, and he's stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle there. Looks like
I think Sundin might have been on that, Bob, and a couple others, but a good pursuit there, good gang tackling for no gain.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Triad Knights. As Coach told you, 3 towns make up Triad: St. Jacob, Marine, and Troy. Drake up over the football, the center. Funk waits for the snap. He's got a man in motion. He hands it off to the fullback, and he's up across the 40. He's got a first down. It's going to be close at the 39-yard line, and the tackle made by Isaac Decker for the Rail Splitters, and they will move the chains. First down at the Lincoln 39-yard line. Early going here, first quarter. Clock on the move. 10 minutes remains in the first quarter. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line for the Triad Knights. They're set. They hike it. They hand off to the fullback off the right side. He's tackled at the 33-yard line. Trying to pick up who made the tackle. That was Frank Sanders in on the tackle for the Rail Splitters, number 69, the sophomore. 6-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Triad Knights. 9:30 left for the first quarter. No score here from Triad, and there's going to be a penalty on the play, and it's going to go against the Triad Knights.
That was a holding penalty on the Knights. That's going to set them back 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which is a break for the Railers. So negate that last play. Triad has a lineman. They've got some big people up front, Bob, but the biggest one is 6'8", 299 pounds, playing a left tackle.
You're right, Coach. That's a big break for the Rail Splitters. Ball all the way back to the Lincoln 49-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 33 for the Triad Knights as Nick Funk looks to the sideline. He's got the play now out of that wing formation. He's got the fullback behind him. Waits for the snap. He's got it. Wants to throw across the middle. He's got his receiver. Breaks one tackle. Gets another away from a would-be tackler, and he catches up with him, and it's another first down for the Knights.
Well, Christian Brown had single coverage on him out there, Bob, and had a shot at him, but he couldn't make the tackle. And when he broke loose, that gave him some running room, and he got down to the 26-yard line and a first down.
At the 26, you're right, Coach. They stopped the clock for some reason at 8:59, I guess, to move the chains, and now here we go. Now the clock runs. Funk out of the gun. The black helmets of the Knights. They hand off to the fullback, and he's taken down, but he got a nice...
I think they gave it to the tailback going wide to the outside. They faked that inside. That's that option play that they like to run, and it's hard to find the ball. He got to the outside before he got run out of bounds, about a 6-yard pickup.
Good call, Coach Schweitzer. They faked me out there, so it'll be 2nd and a nickel for the Knights at the 21-yard line. They line up again out of that gun. Rail Splitters with their backs against the wall here. Got to make a stop. 2nd and 5. Man in motion. Comes to the right side. Long count. Funk's got it. Rolls out to his right side. Looks for an intended receiver in the end zone and incomplete. He throws it long. Good coverage out there for the Rail Splitters, and that was Kanai Carson on the coverage for the Rail Splitters. And basically Nick Funk just had to throw it away, so it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Triad Knights.
Yeah, he had some time, but he couldn't get anybody open, and he overthrew his receiver there in the end zone. And as you said, it's 2-down territory for Triad, but it's a 3rd down and about 5 on the 21.
8:40 on the incompletion. The clock stopped. And now Triad takes their time. They always go with no huddle. Play clock down to 14 seconds. Funk on the long count. Now a man goes in motion. He hands it on the second man through on the right side, and he's stopped, but it looks like he's got a first down. Tackle for Lincoln.
I think that was Decker.
Isaac Decker, number 13, one of the captains for Lincoln. His 2nd tackle of the game for Isaac Decker. 8:30 left for the first quarter. 1st and 10 for the Triad Knights at the 13. They came in with 6 wins and 2 losses. They're set now. Funk waits for the snap from Drake. He's got it. And he's got a lot of pressure on him. He throws intercepted. Wow, good pressure there. And that was Jared Fultz. Jared Fultz applied some speedy pressure on the quarterback, and it was almost picked off, Coach.
He came in untouched from his end position, Bob, as you said, and was close to making a stop there. But the throw then, it was I think that was Jaden Ledley that almost cut in front and made a pick.
He dove for it. 2nd and 10 now. Incompletion. They stop the clock at 8:14 first quarter. No score. Here's the snap. A hand to the fullback, and they wrap him up. Small gain there, maybe a yard or 2.
Yeah, they didn't get much. Good interior defense by the Railer. It's hard to pick out exactly who, but several players were on there on the tackle for only a 1-yard pickup.
Looked like maybe Peyton Johnson was there. 3rd and 5 now for Triad at the Lincoln 13-yard line. 7:45 for the first quarter. Nick Funk, the senior quarterback for Triad. Man in motion's got the snap, hands it off, and he's going to go touchdown Triad with 7:34 left in the first quarter. A 13-yard touchdown on a 3rd and 5 for the Triad Knights, and they lead Lincoln 6-0.
Well, they gave it to the second guy coming through that time, Bob, and he hit the line and then made a couple of moves there to avoid tacklers, and then he danced it his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Jake Stewart, a senior, will attempt the point after touchdown. That'll be Brett Beckman on the snap, and now they fake it to the man with the ball. They're going to go for the 2-point. Oh, nice job there by Jaden Ledley. They faked the kick, went for the 2-point conversion. The man that was the placement guy tried to throw for the 2-point conversion. That was Nick Funk. He was the placement guy, their quarterback, and nice job there by Jaden Ledley. Stopped the 2-point conversion, so the Knights with the 6-0 lead, and we'll be back.
Holland, Berry & Bennett Funeral Home was built on a tradition of trust and caring. Located in Lincoln, Holland, Berry & Bennett is family-owned and operated, offering loved ones comfortable facilities and caring professionals Chris and Leslie Bennett. Loss of a loved one is one of the most difficult challenges anyone can face, and it's important to have a funeral home you can trust to provide peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com.
On the air underneath the Friday Night Lights senior night in Triad High School in St. Clair County. And the Knights, the ones to draw first blood. And it's going to be a 6-0 lead for the Triad Knights. They tried the 2-point conversion on a pass, but Jaden Ledley was able to stop it. All our kickoffs sponsored by Chicago Street Rentals, located at 1909 North Kickapoo Street in Lincoln. Here's the kickoff, and into the end zone goes Keon Carson. He wanted to run that back, but the kick was right to the end zone line, and he tiptoed into the end zone, and that means you got to bring it out to the 20.
Yeah, he stepped past the line there into the end zone, so good play there to bring it out to the 20, start from there. That drive that took a little over 4 minutes, about 4.5 minutes, was 12 plays and 79 yards for Triad to get that first score on the board.
That'll be our first Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down for the Rail Splitters, and that's the way we like it. Kenai Carson split here to the near side. Ryan O'Donohue comes out over the football. Flanked by him at the guard positions are Evan Wackendorf and Joe Dom. The tackles are Poole and Sanders. Here's the snap and the run along the sideline across the 25 to the 30, goes to 35, and a nice run there and a first down, and that was the quarterback on the keeper. Darren Stevens came off the left side, and he got some good blocking from Evan Wackendorf and the freshman Zach Poole.
And we got a flag on the play. At the end of the play, the official's pointing toward Lincoln. I'm not sure what the call is going to be.
We wait for the official call from the man in the white hat. 7:27 left for the first quarter. A nice run by Darren Stevens there. The flag is at the 24-yard line. That's where the infraction was. It's going to be holding against the Lincoln Rail Splitters. And they march off the penalty now back to the 24-yard line. So we ended up getting 4 yards out of it.
Yeah, that was unfortunate because he had about a 16-yard pickup, Stevens, on the keeper, Bob, and a first down. But now it's going to be second. Oh, they say it's first down and about 6.
Here's the snap to Stevens, hands off. That is Keon Carson, and he gets back to the 31. So a 7-yard pickup there for Keon Carson. That should be a first down, and it is. That's a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like it, baby. 7:20 left in the first quarter. Lincoln trails it here early, 6-0, but they're on the move now. Stevens comes in. A new player came in for Lincoln. That was, I believe that was Kobe Glenn checking in for the Rail Splitters. And Glenn will split here to the near side. Kenai Carson, the wide receiver, to the far side of the field. One lone running back for the Railers. Here's the snap to Stevens, and it's going to come up caught by Colby Glenn. Glenn came in off the bench and made the catch, and a nice gain for the Rail Splitters on the pass play. Darren Stevens to Colby Brown at the 38-yard line. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3 for your Lincoln Rail Splitters.
Yeah, it's a good first down play there by the Railers. As you said, 7 yards on first down sets up the whole series here.
We'll take that anytime, Coach. 7-yard pass play, 6:27 on the first quarter clock. Kenai Carson split wide to the right. Colby Glenn here on the near side. Wing formation. Stevens has got the snap. Hands it off. That's Peyton Bunner. Spins into the Knights territory, and he's knocked down in the 46-yard line, and that's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like it, baby. 1st and 10 for Lincoln at the Knights 46-yard line. Lincoln has come out with a great game plan.
That was a 16-yard run right up the middle by Bunner, and he had some nice blocking at the point of attack.
Ryan O'Donohue up over the football, waits for the call from Darren Stevens. Stevens has got the snap out of the gun. He's got time. He's got his man along the sideline at the 40. Dances, and he can't get loose. They finally knock him down. I think that's Kenai Carson.
Yeah, it was Kenai, and he finally stepped out of bounds. He didn't go down, Bob. He finally stepped out of bounds. He was trying to juke his way around one defender and couldn't quite make it, but stepped out at the 41.
5-yard pickup, so it'll be 2nd and a nickel for the Rail Splitters. Stop the clock at 5:40 first quarter. Triad leads the Lincoln Rail Splitters 6-0 in the first quarter. O'Donohue up over the football. He's flanked by Walkendorf and Dom. Stevens on the call. He's got the snap. Hands off to his fullback. And he's got a nice pickup. Going to be close to a first down. That's Peyton Bunner, the sophomore, on the run for Lincoln.
He got about 3 yards on that carry, Bob. Straight ahead, it looks like the Railers are trying to attack straight ahead, and so far it's been effective.
3rd and 1 for the Lincoln Rail Splitters. 5:17 on the first quarter clock. Stevens gets to the sideline and gets the play from Coach Matthew. O'Donohue up over the line, near side Colby Glenn. On the far side of the field, Kenai Carson. Delay, and now here's the snap. They hand it off to Bunner, and he's spun down for a loss. No, that was a loss there.
Yeah, he lost a yard. Too much penetration on the defensive line that time for the Railers. The offensive line was not able to move him off the spot, and they got across and stopped him for a 1-yard loss.
That's going to be 4th and 2 for the Rail Splitters at the, call it the 43-yard line. Just a football link past the 43-yard line. 4th and 2. 4:26 left for the first quarter. O'Donohue's already up over the football out there. Sanders and Poole are the tackles. In motion, Keon Carson. No, he kept it. Stevens kept the football, and he's got a first down at the 35-yard line. Darren Stevens kept the football, faked the handoff to Keon Carson, and a nice pickup there by the quarterback, and that's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like her, baby.
And more importantly, it gives the Railers another set of downs to keep that clock moving, Bob. And they've started this drive on their own 20, and they're down to the 35-yard line now of Triad.
Ball on the near side hash mark. Colby Glenn here to the near side on the short side of the field. Man in motion is Isaac Decker. Hand off Keon Carson. He's trying to look for a hole, and he runs it out of bounds. Just maybe at the line of scrimmage. Now, they're going to give him a yard, I believe. So it'll be 2nd and 9 at the 34-yard line. As he goes out of bounds, they stop the clock at 3:50 here at the first quarter.
Yeah, there wasn't much running room. They were in the short side of the field trying to run it, and he just went out of bounds before he could turn it up.
This time, Kenai Carson splits out wide to the right. Colby Glenn here to the near side. Stevens has got the snap. Looks, he's got time. Throws it up the middle, and looks like it's picked off. Or is it incomplete?
No, he caught it.
He caught it. Tried to throw the pass up the middle. Looked like the intended receiver may have been Keon Carson. but he was under pressure, under the rush there, and it was intercepted. So the Triad Knights will take over with 3:45 left in the first quarter, and let's see where they spot the football.
I think it's going to be on about the 13-yard line. It was a little underthrown, perhaps. There was some good red shirts there playing defense, Bob. I don't know if he could find his open receiver, but it was picked off, and now that drive is stalled for the Railers at 3:45 in the first period. Triad's going to start their second possession at their own 13-yard line.
Too bad, Coach Ken. They burn up a lot of time on that drive, but they just couldn't complete it.
Yeah, and that's one of the keys we wanted to see, but we need to put points on the board also.
Here's Funk out of the shotgun. As Coach told you, 1st and 10 at the 13. He hands off to his man in motion. He's got running room, and he's finally spun down after a good gain there. And the tackle for Lincoln was made by Isaac Decker.
Yeah, a lot of tackles in the secondary, which you'd rather not see. You'd rather see him get hit at the line of scrimmage and let the linebackers do the bulk of the tackling, but this our secondary is getting in on a lot of them right now.
Ball spotted at the 24-yard line. 1st and 10 now for Nick Funk and the Knights. 3:26 on the first quarter clock. Here's the snap from Drake. Hands off to the fullback. Stays on his feet, and he's finally flipped down. On the tackle, it was Jaden Ledley for the Rail Splitters. He undercut him.
That was a short gain, a good defensive play by the Railers. He got over the 25 to about the 27 maybe.
I believe that was the quarterback, Funk. He faked the handoff.
Yeah, he kept the ball and ran off to the left side, and the Railer defense was there to stop him for that short gain.
2nd and 7. Wing formation, shotgun, man in motion. And Funk keeps it again. He's at the 30. He's hit hard. And the tackle made by Isaac Decker. Decker on top of his game tonight, making the tackles. But as you said, Coach, we don't like to see him that lead. Like to see that front line hit those guys.
I tell you, it's a hard offense to defend because they've got so many options back there, and they execute all of them and do a pretty good job. So just finding the ball is half the issue.
And it's going to be 3rd and 1 now for Triad. 2:23 for the first quarter. Triad leads the Lincoln Rail Splitters 6-0. They've got a plethora of running backs. Keller at fullback. Randall's their leading rusher. And, of course, Funk does the job, too. Drake snaps to Funk. And he hands off, breaks the tackle, and finally the tackle is made. And that was Isaac Decker again on the tackle. But it's a little bit too late for the Rail Splitters. Going to be 1st and 10 for the Triad Knights as they move the chains of the 36-yard line.
And we had a couple shots at him, Bob, before he got to the line of scrimmage and couldn't make the tackle, and forced Decker to come up and make the stop.
No huddle, quickly to line again. A receiver on each side of the field. Long count. Funk's got it. Hands off to his fullback. Big kid. Finally knocked down. Colby Glenn was there for the Rail Splitters.
That was Drake Keller, the 5'10", 180-pound fullback, just straight ahead, Bob. Picked up a big yardage out to about the 44.
And he looks, well, with those pads on, it looks like he's bigger.
Yeah, that's deceiving, the number on the program.
2nd and a deuce at the 44. Funk looks along the line of scrimmage. Now he waits for the snap from Drake. He's got it. He wants to throw. He's got time. Throws deep, and good coverage out there again by Kenai Carson. Nothing going there. So it's going to be 3rd and 2 now on the incompletion. Kenai Carson, good on the coverage out there.
Yeah, that's when you want to take the shot like they did, though, when you got a 2nd and short. Take a shot going deep, and that'll loosen up that secondary a little bit. But as you say, Kenai was right with him, and they just overthrew the receiver.
Ball on the near side hash mark. Minute 6 left for the first quarter. They look to the sideline for their offensive play. Play clock down to 18 seconds. And now the center Drake's up over the football. Now they're set. Man in motion. They hand it off to him. He's at the 45. Jumps over a guy at the 50. Spins across the 40. Penalty on the play. The tackle made at the 34-yard line by Colby Glenn for the Rail Splitters. Colby Glenn wears the number 8 in the white and green for Lincoln, and he makes the tackle. But there was a penalty way in the backfield. 2 flags back there, back on the other side of the 50. It looks like it will go against the Triad Knights.
Yeah, I don't know if that has something to do with jumping over like that, or if that's
He looked like he was running the low hurdles.
Yeah, he definitely. I don't know if that's the penalty. I don't know if that's illegal. I'm not sure now.
It was a nice.
I mean, if it is, it's a safety issue, I'm sure.
Yeah, it looked like a good athletic play, but like
I don't think the officials know exactly what to call here yet either.
Clock stopped just under a minute. They're going back now. Is he stepping it off? He's going to step it off from the Triad 49.
Yeah, from the point of the infraction, because they were on the 44 to start that play.
Holding. I think that's what he showed. And if there's a penalty, if there's a signal for jumping over people, I don't know what it is.
He's got a mic, but it's hard to hear that, so I couldn't hear what he said. But it's a big one.
15-yard penalty. Big break for the Rail Splitters there, back to the Triad 34-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 12 for the Triad Knights. 59.6 seconds on the first quarter clock. Triad leads the Lincoln Rail Splitters 6-0. You're either listening to 96.3 FM on the radio or on WLCNonline.com or on the Mixler app out in California or any ship at sea. And they start the clock back up, and we're ready to rock and roll. The Knights aren't ready, but the officials are. The Knights are still looking to the sideline, getting the signal. Play clock at 15 seconds. Center's now up over the football, and they're set and ready to go. Man in motion. Funk's got the snap. Hands off to the second guy through at the 40, and 2 guys there for Lincoln. One of them was Isaac Decker. The main guy on the tackle was Colby Glenn. You'll see Colby Glenn in on a lot of tackles for the Rail Splitters.
He wrapped him up and slowed him down, and Decker came in and finished it off. 2 good tacklers for the Railers.
Ball at the 40. Is that 4th down? They're going to go for it? They're going for it on 4th down at their own 40.
I thought it was 3rd, but they must have lost it down on that penalty.
4th and 6.
I think they're going to see if they can pull the Railers off.
You're right, Coach.
That still wouldn't get them a first.
A little trickery here.
They're going to run the clock out now. That's the end of the quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Triad Knights on senior night 6 and the Lincoln Rail Splitters 0. And we'll be back.
Running errands, shuttling kids to practices, and still have to stop by the store. Sound familiar? At Town & Country Bank, we love seeing our customers, but we know that can't always happen. That's why we make managing your money easy with our mobile app. You can deposit checks, transfer funds, or make payments through your smartphone or tablet. Plus, we offer text banking and an interactive online budget tool to keep you on track. Visit townandcountrybank.com to learn more. Town & Country Bank, side by side, member FDIC.
Lincoln Rail Splitter football from St. Clair County. I'm Bobby V along with Coach Ken Schweitzer and Lloyd Kirby outside filming it for you. Ball's at the 40-yard line, Coach. Going to be 4th and 6 for the Knights.
And now they're in a punting formation.
And their punter is Cohen Rodebush. K-O-E-N on your scorecard. Cohen Rodebush. He's a senior, 5'10", 187. Leads them in tackling. And he's also the punter. The long snapper is Brett Beckerman. Here's the snap. Here's the punt from the 30.
Short.
Kicks it. Looks like an infield pop-up to first base.
Well, they got a little bit of a roll, but it went out of bounds, so good break for the Railers.
Out of bounds. Good field position at the Lincoln 45-yard line. It'll be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like it, baby.
I tell you, I think the first quarter, Bob, proved to the Railers, if they needed any proof, that they could play with this Triad football team, Bob. They've bent a little bit, but didn't break.
Look at the guys with the chains are going the wrong way, Coach.
Yeah, they got it. Now they're getting it.
Now they're straightening it out.
45-yard line, great field position for the Railers to start this second possession of the game.
That's the first time I've ever seen a lit-up
that's
marker like that.
Makes it easy to see.
Darren Stevens out of the guns, got the snap. He's got time, throws along the sideline, incomplete. Nice pocket set up there for him. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for Lincoln.
He had time. I didn't see what receiver he was trying to hit over there. There was one deep and one about medium, and not sure who he was aiming for. You know, he had that interception there late in the first quarter. He's only had a couple turnovers all season long.
2nd and 10 for the Rail Splitters. Colby Glenn was over there. Stevens with the ball. He's a lone man back there. Now a man goes in motion. He's going to keep it himself, Darren Stevens, and he gets into the Knights territory, the Triad Knights territory at the 49-yard line. So a 4-yard pickup for Darren Stevens. Make that a 6-yard pickup from the 45 to the Triad 49. So it'll be 2nd and 4 for Lincoln. Early second quarter. Triad leads Lincoln 6-0, but the Rail Splitters on the move now.
I think last week was the first time we really saw Stevens carry the ball, Bob, and he did a great job, and now he's continuing it tonight. He's picking up some good yardage every time he carries.
You're right, Coach. Gabe Smith checks in at wide receiver. Here's here on the wide side of the field. There's, he's kept it again that time. He faked the handoff to Isaac Decker, and he got knocked down for a loss at the 50-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 5 now for the Rail Splitters.
Yeah, I don't know if Railers thought that they wouldn't expect you to do it 2 times in a row, and the Railers did, and they were there to make the stop. They had 2 defensive linemen right there that did not get blocked or moved out of their space, and they made the tackle for a loss.
I'm sorry, that's going to be 4th down now. So Jaden Ledley will punt it away. Will be Isaac Decker on the long snap for Lincoln. 4th and 5 for Lincoln. Ledley waits for the snap. Good snap. He's got it. Boots it away. Nice end-over-end kick. Caught at the 20. He goes down to his knees, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Triad Knights at the 22-yard line of Triad. 10:15 left on the clock for the second quarter. Lincoln trails it 6-0.
Well, I'm sorry about that. Possession for the Railers was a 3 and out, and that's exactly what they don't want to have happen. They need to pick up some first downs and keep the ball away from this offensive Triad.
Can you believe it, Coach? It's already the 9th game of the year. They seem like every year it seems like they go faster to me.
They sure do, and it seemed like we were just at Clinton a few weeks ago, but that was 8 weeks ago, so here we are, final regular season game of the season.
Ball spotted at the 20-yard line with 10:15 left in the second quarter. Triad leads at 6-0. They've got the football 1st and 10. They've got a wide receiver to each side. Wing formation. Got the fullback behind the quarterback, Nick Funk. Funk stands at his 24-yard line in the shotgun. Lincoln disciplined snap. They give it to the fullback. No, he keeps it himself around the near side here, and the tackle for Lincoln. They keep the clock running. Tackle made by Jaden Ledley.
Flag way downfield. That was Jason Randall, the running back, that kept that ball, Bob, and got to the outside. The Raiders didn't contain him that time, and he got some good running room outside to about the 34-yard, 5-yard line, but now we got to see what the flag is.
Well, Christian Brown was covered there by Isaac Ackerman, and it looked like they were having words. I didn't see what happened between them.
Holding is what the call is.
Against the Knights. So whatever extracurricular activity was going on, there was no call on that.
Yeah, I didn't say. Was there another flag up there? I saw the flag back around the 50. Maybe he called the hold from there.
And it's still going to be 1st and 7. They bring the ball back to the 24-yard line. 10:07 on the first quarter clock. You're listening to Lincoln Rail Splitter Football on WLCN Online and 96.3 FM. Nick Funk, the senior quarterback, got the snap. Throws it across the middle. Incomplete. Good coverage there for Lincoln by Christian Brown, the junior. Brown all over the intended receiver. That was number 88. And that was Tayshawn Cockerell, and good coverage there by Christian Brown.
And they haven't been able to get their passing game on track so far tonight, Bob. I think they completed one earlier in the first quarter, but Railers have had pretty good coverage for the most part.
They stopped the clock at 10 minutes on the incompletion, 2nd and 7. Nick Funk out of the gun, waits for the snap from Drake. Man in motion. Hands it to him. Wants to come around the right side, but good job on the defense there for Lincoln to try and pick up who that tackle was made by.
I think Ledley was in on it, but he might have had some help over there, but a great job of containing him. Wouldn't let him get to the outside. Waited for some help on the inside to make the stop for no gain.
Ledley, Decker, and Brown having a good night tackling tonight. Brown and Kenai Carson good on the coverage. Here's the snap and the handoff. They tried to come around the right side.
Come on.
Still stringing him out.
Hang on.
Still there. Now he breaks the tackle to the 30, to the 35, to the 40 along the sideline, and he may go. He's into Lincoln territory, still on his feet, finally pushed out of bounds. Jared Foltz and Kenai Carson were the two guys there to help save the touchdown, as it was broken wide open that time by the Knights of Triad.
And they had him stopped, or they had a chance to stop him there near the line of scrimmage, Bob, as he was trying to go wide, and two missed tackles he broke, and then he went tight rope down the sideline until he got pushed out finally, but not before he got to about the 27-yard line of the Railers' 48-yard pickup.
They stopped the clock at 9:14 second quarter. Triad leads at 6-0. Funk out of the gun. Big play there for the Triad Knights. They broke it wide open. Funk wants to pass. Throws it deep into the end zone. Touchdown, Triad. Beautiful pass from Nick Funk to his wide receiver on the dead run. He got a step on the coverage, and he threw that pass right on the money for a 27-yard touchdown to make the score 12-0, and the fireworks go off on here at senior night. 9:08 left on the second quarter clock as that touchdown was made in the end zone on a nice pass play. Looks like they're going to go for the two-point conversion again, Coach.
Well, this will be a plan when the last one wasn't, but since they missed the last extra point, they're going to try to make up for it here. You got to give credit because it was a great pass there and a good catch going deep in the end zone.
They're on the near side hash mark as they try to attempt the two-point conversion. They line up in their wing formation. Two receivers on the right side of the field. Funk's got the snap, rolls out to his right, looks for his intended receiver. Now he wants to keep it. Now he flips it into the end zone, and it's complete for the two-point conversion. So now the Triad Knights lead the Lincoln Rail Splitters 14-0. 9:08 left in the second quarter, and we'll be back.
Have you ever seen somebody treated unfairly because of the color of their skin?
Do you guys know what it means to have white privilege?
What is racism, and what do you think about it?
Talk to young children about what racism is, giving them the language to understand it. They can be disruptors. They can shape and shift culture.
We may not always know the answer, but we'll try and help you learn.
You don't have to have all the answers, but that doesn't mean we can't start.
Lincoln Rail Splitter football here from Triad High School. Sometimes Coach laughs at me. I start talking before we go on air. I think I'm always on air. Oh, our kickoff sponsored by Chicago Street Rentals, and here's the kickoff, and it is a deep one, and it's caught right at the 1-yard line. On the run, that is Isaac Decker. Isaac Decker still on the run across the 30 up around the 31-yard line. Good job there by Isaac Decker. He caught the ball right just about before the end zone. He was able to run it out to the 31-yard line where it will be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like it, baby.
Yeah, nice run back by Isaac Decker, about 31-yard line, and he had to pick his way through, find a couple little bitty holes, and got to 31 before he finally went down.
Well, Isaac always gets his money's worth, Coach. There we go, O'Donohue up over the football for the Rail Splitters. They got that packed tight offensive line. They hand it off to the fullback. He spins and fights. I would guess that was...
That Bunner?
I'm not sure.
I think it was. 4-yard or 3-yard pickup out to the 34-yard line. Straight ahead again.
2nd and 7 for Lincoln. Yeah, that was Bunner. Bunner now lines up on the right side of Darren Stevens. He's got the snap, hands it off, and nothing going there. I believe that was Isaac Decker.
Yeah, it was. He tried. He was going to run right, sweep to the right side, but there was too much penetration by the defensive line. He couldn't get out wide, and they stopped him for a loss back to the 31-yard line.
So it'll be 3rd down now. And it looks like only on the scoreboard, yeah, it's only 10 yards. 3rd and 10, the 34. Here's the snap. Whoa, good pressure there. Got to get rid of it. And he does. Darren Stevens just was smothered there by 2 defensive players, and he just had to get rid of it. So we'll have to punt it away, 4th and 10 at the 34.
Yeah, again, too much penetration by the defense. They got through, and he was lucky to get rid of it. He had a receiver going out there, but he had to overthrow him. 7:46 left here in the second quarter, Bob. Railer's going to punt it away from their own 31-yard line, already trailing 14-0.
Isaac Decker looks back at his good buddy Jaden Ledley, and he'll get ready to snap it to him. Ledley back at the 17's, got the snap, boots it away. He's got a good leg, end over end. Going to get caught at the 4. Oh, good defense there. Hang on to him.
Nope.
He still got loose. We had 3-4 guys on him, and he finally gets tackled, ran down from behind. Very elusive runner. That was Peyton Bunner, saved the touchdown there. A nice tackle by Peyton Bunner. But we had 3 or 4 guys on the original guy when he caught it, and we couldn't bring him down.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. He's a good hard runner. He was last year too, Bob. But when you make contact and you have a chance, you got to get him to the ground. Now they're calling a holding penalty on the return, so that's going to bring the ball back quite a ways, actually, which is a good thing for the Railers.
Another big penalty, and he's walking to the Mississippi River, Coach.
I tell you,
he's all the way back to the 37-yard line of
Triad might have a bigger lead but they've shot themselves in the foot with penalties here in this first half.
Triad now coming back out on the field. 7:33 left for the half. Triad leads Lincoln by 2 touchdowns, 14-0. Got a wide receiver on each side of the field. Nick Funk lines it up with his center Drake, and he calls the cadence. He's got the snap, and he hands it off to his fullback, his 180-pound fullback, who looks like he's a lot bigger, and he's down to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, 7-yard pickup, just a straight hand. Again, their offense looks a lot like what the Railers do. They just seem to be executing a little better here so far, and they do have some size advantages up front.
Ball at the 44, 2nd and 7. 3-yard pickup there by the fullback. Funk, no huddle as usual. Waits for the snap, man in motion. Hands to the second guy through, and he is still on his feet. He's got a first down into Lincoln territory before he's tripped up at the 43-yard line. And the tackle for Lincoln made by Christian Brown. And they'll move the stakes into Lincoln territory at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10. 6:45 for the half. You're listening to Lincoln Rail Splitter Football on 96.3 FM WLCN. Country by day, rock and roll by night. Pass along the sideline, it's complete. Tackle for Lincoln, trying to pick up who that was over there. Saved the first down, close to a first down, 8-9 yard. That was Christian Brown again on the tackle. Ball at the 35-yard line. So that'll be a second down, 2nd and 6. Triad looks to the sideline for their coach to get the play in. They stopped the clock on the completion.
Yeah, he might have stepped out of bounds there on the tackle. I'm guessing. I'm not sure what's going on here. The officials.
play clock is down to 36 seconds. That's not right.
Yeah, they reset that. Well,
it's supposed to start at 25 seconds.
They may be having some trouble getting it adjusted, I guess.
I would think.
There we go. No, it's still running.
They got it down to 20 seconds now. They're still trying to figure out what play they're going to run. It's going to be 2nd and 2 at the Lincoln 35-yard line. 6:09 left on the first quarter clock. Score 14-0 Triad here on their senior night in St. Clair County.
Now they've reset the play clock again. Don't know what's going on.
Man, I feel like I did something wrong. Now here it's going again. 20 seconds. Drake's up over the football to center. Funk out of the shotgun. Keller's his fullback. He gets the hand off the right side. He's got running room. One man to stop him, and he stops him. Just inside. That's Christian Brown again on the tackle. If it wasn't for Christian Brown on those last 3 plays, they just would have ran all the way.
Yeah, he just not before a huge pickup, just going through the line and getting past the linebackers to the secondary. Brown made a touchdown-saving tackle there on the 13.
1st and 10 at the 13. 6 minutes left for the first quarter. The senior Nick Funk has his offense set. He's got 3 receivers here to the near side on the wide side of the field. And good defense there for the Rail Splitters. Went to hand it off. Looked like a broken play. Quite a few Rail Splitters in there.
But look, I don't know if they had trouble making the handoff or not. By the time Funk was able to hand it off, the Railer defense did get through there. A little blitz action there finally, and that dropped them back about 5 yards to about the 18-yard line.
Man, I wish I could have better eyesight. I could see who made that tackle.
Well, there was 2 or 3 white shirts in there. I'm not sure who made the initial hit either. It might have been a linebacker on a blitz. Might have been Peyton Johnson. Just a guess.
Here's the snap, and he hands it off to his running back, but again the Lincoln defense holds. That was on a 2nd and 15 there, and now it's going to be 3rd down. Lincoln again stops him in the backfield. Way up in this press box, and they're on the far side of the field. If you're watching on the TV, you can probably see the numbers better of the guys making the tackles.
Yeah, they're a long way away from us here. This is as far as we've been on calling a game, away from the field action. But another good defensive stop by the Railers. They need to continue that this drive and then into the rest of this half and second half.
3rd and 15 for Nick Funk and the Knights. Trying to pull us offside here on the long count. Play clock at 6 seconds. Here's the snap. Funk wants to throw. Here comes the pressure. Hey, good pressure by the Rail Splitters, and they take him down.
That was is that 13?
It is.
No, 17.
17.
Peyton Johnson.
Peyton Johnson did a excellent job, Coach.
He wouldn't give up, Bob. He initially had a shot at him and missed him, and he got back up and went after him again and finally got him and made that tackle from behind.
So now it's 4th and 24, and they're going to attempt a field goal.
It's going to be a 34, 44-yard attempt.
Here's the field goal attempt. And it is off to the left side. So Lincoln will take over 1st and 10 at the Triad 27-yard line with 3:40 remaining in the first quarter. That'll be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down. That's the way we like it, baby. The Rail Splitters in their road whites with the green numerals and the green pants. So
that was I think he had it far enough, Bob. It looked like it was a low line drive, but it was a little wide to the left. But he kicked that 44 yards.
Yeah, soccer style kick, and you called it right, Coach. He just hooked it to the left. Colby Glenn going to split out to the far side of the field. Wide receiver for the Rail Splitters.
That was a break for the Railers. If they can't get anything on the board this half with 3:40 to go, at least you got to make sure you keep Triad off and only go in down 14-0.
Stevens out of the gun. Hands off. That's Keon Carson. Ran away from a couple of would-be tacklers, but then he got about a yard out of it. He swung wide in the backfield. He had 2 guys coming back there for him, so he had to swing wide, and he got back just across the line of scrimmage.
And once again, there was defensive penetration there up front, which which forced him to go backward, as you said, to swing farther back and wide, and he just couldn't get it back. I guess he got back to the 22.
They gave him 2 yards out of it, Coach. It'll be 2nd and 8, clock on the move, 3:07 left for the first quarter. Stevens out of the backfield, throws it, screen pass, Isaac Decker. Evades 1 tackle, but then 2 guys come over and tackle him at the 24-yard line. So a 2-yard pickup on that play from Stevens to Decker. They stop the clock, 2:55 remaining in the second.
Triad takes a timeout.
Triad, the Knights take a timeout. They lead at 14-0, and we'll take a timeout ourselves.
How you holding up? Nothing wrong with getting help.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
From Triad High School in St. Clair County, Coach Ken Schweitzer along with Bobby V, and it's going to be 3rd and 6 at the 24-yard line with 2:55 left in the second quarter.
Big play coming up here for the Railers to keep this drive alive. Otherwise, they're going to have to punt it and probably give Triad a pretty good field position with plenty of time left here in the second quarter.
Rail Splitters came to the line of scrimmage. Now they go back and huddle up again. And now we're ready to go. Here's the snap to Darren Stevens. He rolls out to his right, and he can't find anybody open. Now he throws it up ahead.
I think he caught it. Yes, first down for the Railers.
1st and 10. I'm trying to pick up who that is.
I think it was Decker.
Isaac Decker.
I think. Maybe not.
He's still in the backfield there. Yeah, it was. You're right, Coach. Isaac Decker. So that's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down for the Rail Splitters. That's the way we like it, baby. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line of Lincoln. Stevens out of the gun. He's got Bunner in the backfield with him. 3 receivers here to the near side. Throws it out in the flat to Decker. He caught it, and he's taken down at the 30, and that's for a 3-yard loss. He was covered by 4 Triad Knights out there. Screen pass out to the right, and he just couldn't get away from it.
Yeah, well, when you have to stop and wait for the ball instead of catching it on the run, it gives the defense a chance to converge, and that's what they did and stopped him for a 2-yard loss.
They spotted at the 31 now, so it's going to be 2nd and 13 for Lincoln. 2:14 left for the half. Triad leads the Rail Splitters 14-0. Snap to Darren Stevens. Going to throw it long, intended receiver. Keon Carson. No! He had it, but it was slapped out of his hands there. A nice play by Cohen Rodebush. He's their number 1 defensive player. He's a safety, and Keon was just about ready to haul it in, and Cohen Rodebush slapped it away.
And Rodebush almost hauled it in too, Bob. I was afraid, and I think Keon maybe knocked it out of his hand when he had a shot at it and prevented that interception.
So a duel under the lights here tonight, and it's incomplete, so it'll be 3rd and 13.
Well, the Railers tried for a big play right there, Bob, and unfortunately it was well covered.
That's their number 1 defensive player, Rodebush. They talked about him before the game. O'Donohue up over the football at the near side hash mark. Stevens looks along the line of scrimmage. He's ready to go. He's got the snap. He unloads, and he had to get rid of it. He had 2 guys coming on him, so now it's going to be 4th down. Lincoln's going to have to punt it away.
It looked like more than 2 to me, but it looked like he had about half the team was in the backfield after him, and he just had to get rid of it. He couldn't put anything on it and didn't have time to even find an open receiver, so it's going to force the Railers into a 4th down punt here from their own 31-yard line with 2 minutes and a second left.
And it'll be Jaden Ledley. It'll be on the long snap from Isaac Decker on the near side hash mark. The Knights have got 2 men back. And we're set. 2:01 remains in the first half. The Triad leads Lincoln 14-0. There's the snap by Decker. Nice snap. Ledley gets it away, as usual, high end over end kick. And it's going to take a Triad bounce, and one of the players for Lincoln downs it. That was Gully. the man that downed it for the Rail Splitters, the sophomore Jaden Gully, downed it for the Railers. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Triad at their own 48-yard line. Minute 52 left of the half, Coach.
Yeah, a lot of time. They have 2 timeouts remaining, and they've got an explosive offense here, Bob, so it's going to be a tough task, but the Railers have to keep them out of the end zone here and only go down by 2 scores at the half.
Their center Drake's up over the football. Jackson Drake. Wing formation. 2 wide receivers. Ball's in the center of the field. Snap to Funk. Fakes the handoff. Now he's going to throw it long up the middle and incomplete. Had a man in the middle. Colby Glenn was on the coverage for the Rail Splitters, and an incompletion out there.
Yeah, that throw was just a little behind his receiver, Bob. He had to kind of turn around and reach behind him to make the catch. The ball was right there, but just behind him, and he couldn't make the grab.
2nd and 10 now for the Triad Knights at their own 48-yard line.
There's a flag on the play now, and they're going to call holding, I think.
So make that the 39-yard line. He only marched off 9 yards. So it'll be 1st and 20 at the 38. Should be the 38, but he said it at 39. Funk out of the gun. Waits for the snap. Man in motion. Goes into the slots. Got the snap. He's going to keep it himself. Throws it out on the screen pass to the 50, 45. Spun down close to the first down. Well-designed play there.
Yeah, he just fakes that handoff inside to freeze the defense a little bit, and then he rolls right and hits his man out there on the flat.
19-yard pickup, 2nd and 1 at the 43 of Lincoln. Here's the snap and hand off the left side.
That's Frank Sanders on that tackle, Bob.
Good job, Frank, but looks like it's going to be a first down. It is a first down with 1:14. They stop the clock as they move the chains. Football at the Lincoln.
They didn't need much, and they didn't get much. Sanders did a nice job making the hit.
42-yard line. Funk's got the snap. He wants to throw again. He unloads it in the flat. Completion and a tackle there made by Jaden Ledley, but not before Triad gets another first down.
Yeah, he was wide open. He had some pressure too. The Railers are putting some pressure on from the right side on a blitz there, but he found a wide open receiver on the sideline. Got it down to the 25.
That was Tayshawn Cockerell. He's a junior, 6'2", 178. And there's a snap and the ball's on the field, but now they blow it dead, Coach.
Yeah, he just spiked it to stop the clock. So it goes to 2nd down. They've got 2 timeouts, I think, so I'm not sure why they didn't need to do that, but whatever.
2nd and 10 now. As Coach said, on the spike of the football at the 25-yard line. Jackson Drake, the center. He'll wait for the count. There's the snap. Funk's got a little time. He's going to throw it airborne into the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Triad. That was Tayshawn Cockerell. Went up between 2 Rail Splitters.
Well, I think Kristen Brown was on the defense down there, Bob, and I think he thought the receiver pushed him. He had good position on him, but he thinks he got pushed. Unfortunately, I think he just reached over the top maybe and made the catch.
So it'll make the score. Triad 20, Rail Splitters 0 with 44 seconds left here in the first half. And the attempt for the extra point will be made by Jake Stewart. On the long snap, it'll be Brent Beckerman. The quarterback holds on the placement, Nick Funk. Here's the snap, the placement. The boot is up and through the uprights. That'll make it Triad 21, Lincoln 0. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Who caught that pass, do you know?
Tayshawn Cockerell, number 8.
How you holding up? Nothing wrong with getting help. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
If you love them enough to crawl into a good place to get them to come down,
don't wait.
Then surely
Reach
you'll
out.
check
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Pleasant temperature around 70 degrees Fahrenheit.
I think that touchdown pass there, Bob, was a case of had good defensive coverage, but he's only 5'6", and the receiver's 6'2". He kind of reached up over the top of him and was able to pull the ball down.
Yeah, and Funk's a good quarterback. He puts it right on the money. So all our kickoff sponsored by Chicago Street Rentals, located at 1909 North Kickapoo Street in Lincoln, Illinois. Christened by Abraham Lincoln back in 1853. Here's the approach on the kickoff, and it's a bouncer, and it's picked up by Kenai Carson. Kenai Carson at the 25, and then he's pushed back. Let's see where they spot it at. Kenai Carson, like an infielder, that ball bounced about 2 or 3 times. He was able to snag it.
Nope, now we got a late penalty flag flying. I don't know what that's going to be, a personal foul, I think, on somebody.
Ball at the 26-yard line. That's where Kenai was able to carry it to. Penalty going to go against the Triad Knights. The point of the infraction at the 26-yard line.
Yeah.
And if you're right, Coach, it'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Well, with 38 seconds left, it's nice. It's probably not going to help us much, unfortunately, but Triad's had some huge penalties here, and you wouldn't think that would be characteristic of a team that with a 6-2 record coming in, but maybe it is. Maybe it is.
And I probably shouldn't say anything. I think Lincoln's been penalty-free.
We've had one. We had a hold early.
One hold early. Kenai Carson split wide to the far side of the field. O'Donohue up over the football. 38 seconds left for the first half. It would be nice to break a long play here, and the man that can do it is Keon Carson if he can get loose. Stevens out of the gun, and it's Keon Moe, and Stevens is going to keep it, and he's down just across the Lincoln 45-yard line. 4-yard pickup for the Rail Splitters.
Railer called timeout.
Now the Rail Splitters want a timeout. We'll take a timeout with the score. Triad 21 and Lincoln 0.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Bobby V. We've been broadcasting these games for so long I can't even remember how long it's been. Lloyd Kirby, the man on the spot, setting everything up for us, keeps us going. He's even going to give me a ride home tonight. The guy that brought me here got rid of me.
Hey, you know, it was a one-way trip tonight for you.
That's hell, I thought I was going to have to hitchhike back. But Lloyd said I'll barely fit in his car. 21-0 the score in favor of Triad here on senior night. 33 seconds left in the first half. Lincoln called a timeout. They haven't come back out on the field yet. Neither is Triad.
It's a long timeout time, yeah.
Officials are ready to go.
Yeah.
And now both teams now walking back out onto the field. Triad on senior night. They had quite a celebration before the game. And now Lincoln to the line of scrimmage. We're ready to go. O'Donohue up over the football. Darren Stevens out of the gun. Hands off to the second man. That's Isaac Decker. And Decker, if he's lucky, got a couple of yards out of it.
Now they throw a flag.
Ball at the 46. Got a yard out of it.
Now they're going to... calling something on the Railer. I thought he showed a hold, yeah. Then he did some other gyrations with his arms. I didn't know what he was doing. You know, we mentioned earlier that the Triad has a 6'8", 299-pounder up front. They also have a 6', 335-pounder out there on the field.
Some big guys out there. Ball spotted at the 36, Coach. So it'll be 2nd and 16 with 25 seconds remaining in the first half. Triad leads Lincoln 21-0. O'Donohue up over the football. One receiver here to the near side for Lincoln. Man in motion. And Stevens going to keep it again. And he gets up back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. So it'll be 3rd and 16 for Lincoln. And that may run the clock out here for the first half.
Yeah, that might be the best option at this point. Things aren't going well offensively for the Railers.
So at the end of 2 quarters of play here at Triad on senior night, the score is going to be the Triad Knights 21 and the Lincoln Rail Splitters 0, and we'll be back for the halftime show.
WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com present Lincoln Community High School Rail Splitter Football. WLCN's live stream video coverage of Railer football is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Chestnut Health Systems, offering a comprehensive scope of behavioral health and human services in Illinois and Missouri. Phone 888-924-3786. Me Realty, locally owned and operated. Me Realty is Logan County's top producing real estate agency year after year. Call 217-735-5424 or browse listings online at merealty.com. Farm and Home Supply. Shop Farm and Home Supply for all your farm, home, and outdoor needs. Stop by at 1501 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Triplet Heating and Cooling, servicing all brands of residential and commercial HVAC systems in the Lincoln and Logan County area. Call 217-651-8683, Triplet Heating and Cooling, an authorized Bryant dealer. Hollandberry and Bennett Funeral Home, providing peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Family owned and operated by Chris and Leslie Bennett. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com. Town & Country Bank, a proud sponsor of Lincoln Railer football, Town & Country Bank helps empower the financial well-being of communities, one person at a time. Online at townandcountrybank.com. Thank you for watching WLCN's coverage of Lincoln Rail Splitter football.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead. STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. The only limit is your imagination. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. So if you want to talk to your kids, you got to get it trending. I was just trying to get your attention.
Could I just ask?
Visit talkaboutVaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Mom was always very self-sufficient, but we started noticing things were off.
Alzheimer's, it was hard to hear that.
Early detection gave us time to seek information and support.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Lincoln Rail Splitter football from St. Clair County tonight, and the Rail Splitters trail it here at halftime, Coach, 21-0. And it's time to thank Grau Incorporated for the halftime show. They've brought it to us for many years. Grau Incorporated out at 1905 North Kickapoo Street in Lincoln. Phone 217-735-4444 or go online to grauinc.com. That's Grau Incorporated. They've operated in Lincoln since 1953, and they've done a great job of bringing a service here and sponsoring our halftime shows for Lincoln Rail Splitter football. And Coach, it's time to go over the list of the games sponsored by Me Realty, and at this point, let's take a look.
Well, it's we had high hopes starting the game, and so far we haven't been able to meet very many of these. The first one said prevent the big play, stop the running game, and they've got 3 touchdowns already, and we've had a hard time stopping them. But they have a multiple look offense. It starts out looking a lot like ours, but they run kind of a triple option sometimes, and they're pretty multifaceted, so we haven't been able to stop that at all. Next was to control the ball for ourselves on offense, try to run the ball effectively. Our first possession, we started on our own 20, got down to the Triad 34 before we had an interception. We ran 10 plays, but after that, the next possessions, we had 3 of them. They were all punts and had one at the end there, but as time ran out. The third list of the game was to score. Well, we haven't done that. It's 21-0, and when you can't score, it's hard to stay close to any opponent, and the Railers have not been able to move the ball into the end zone.
Well, we want to thank Me Realty for sponsoring the list of the games, and thank you, Coach Schweitzer. And they send us here to broadcast football games, but this is one of the better halftime shows we've ever seen. The band is well choreographed, and the flag ladies, they all put on a great show here.
Well, they got a big school here. I think we said at the start they have 1,157 students in the enrollment here, and so they get a lot of them out for football. They had 70 sophomores on up, and they've got a ton of them out there in band uniforms and girls with flags, and they're doing a great job.
Coach, if anything for the Rail Splitters, we've seen some good tackling when we needed it, but just not enough. Colby Glenn, Isaac Decker, Jaden Ledley, Christian Brown, all in there making some good stops, but just not quite enough.
Well, they're making individual good plays at times, but collectively as a defense, we're not making consistently doing it time after time after time. You maybe get one every 3 or 4 plays, and that's not enough, because a good team like Triad, they're going to make you pay for that. They're going to make you miss some tackles. They're going to break some tackles, and they've done that here in the first half.
Coach, we'll take another timeout, and then we'll come back and talk about the season and some of the things we'll look forward to next year.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com present Lincoln Community High School Rail Splitter Football. WLCN's live stream video coverage of Railer football is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Chestnut Health Systems, offering a comprehensive scope of behavioral health and human services in Illinois and Missouri. Phone 888-924-3786. Me Realty, locally owned and operated. Me Realty is Logan County's top producing real estate agency year after year. Call 217-735-5424 or browse listings online at merealty.com. Farm and Home Supply. Shop Farm and Home Supply for all your farm, home, and outdoor needs. Stop by at 1501 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Triplet Heating and Cooling, servicing all brands of residential and commercial HVAC systems in the Lincoln and Logan County area. Call 217-651-8683, Triplet Heating and Cooling, an authorized Bryant dealer. Hollandberry and Bennett Funeral Home, providing peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Family owned and operated by Chris and Leslie Bennett. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com. Town & Country Bank, a proud sponsor of Lincoln Railer football, Town & Country Bank helps empower the financial well-being of communities, one person at a time. Online at townandcountrybank.com. Thank you for watching WLCN's coverage of Lincoln Rail Splitter football.
7 years, yeah.
And
6 years, I'm sorry.
6 years. Played our last game in the Apollo last Friday night in a victory over Taylorville, and then on the road tonight, and many different adventures for us, driving to those games in places we've never been before. But we'll be back in the Central State 8 next year, and be a little bit shorter drives.
Well, yeah, a lot of all shorter drives. Yeah, we go to Springfield 3 times, and Normal, U-High, and Chatham. So 5 road games, but they're all shorter trips than we had tonight. But as you said, this was a long trip, but it's a Friday night, and it's
what else are we going to do?
Not a school night for these players and families, and so it's been very fun and interesting to see some of these new schools and to compete against them. And we competed well against several of them, not so well against others, but as it turns out, I think we finished 10-25 in all of our games in the Apollo Conference in those 6 years.
It was surprising how we turned it around against Taylorville. They had been a juggernaut for years, but in the last 2 years we were able to defeat them.
Well, and 2 things. One, I think we got better, and I think they kind of fell off a little bit down there. I think they've got some issues at Taylorville, and all schools go through that, but the Railers finished 2-3 against them. Didn't play them the COVID year in the spring. That was the one conference school we did not play, so we were 2-3 against them. We were 3-3 against Mattoon and 4-2 against Charleston. And then Mohammed Seymour, we beat them once, lost 5 times, and then unfortunately we're not able to beat Effingham or Mount Zion.
Effingham and Mount Zion, the 2 powerhouses in the Apollo, and both of those teams I would think would be going off onto the playoffs.
Yeah, Mohammed was undefeated going in tonight, so they're definitely in. Mount Zion had 5 wins already. They've had 2 losses in a row. They were 5-3. Even that, they probably have enough points to get in. Effingham, 1, 2, 3, they got 5 wins, so they're probably going to make it in also. And then, of course, Triad here, who we're playing here at the end of the season, they'll definitely be in.
So, Coach, if we were able to pull off the miracle and come back and win this one, which I hope we can, would we have a shot at the playoffs?
Oh, I think so. I think we count Lincoln with 35 points right now going into tonight's action. Some of our conference schools are going to get a win coming down here. We talked about it. We figured at least 2 or 3, hopefully, so that would get us up to about 38 points. Usually that's enough to get in. Varies every year, but the high 30s is make a statement here and get the ball moving and try to put points on the board.
Well, it's certainly been an exciting night here at Triad. It's senior night, and they pulled out all the bells and whistles to celebrate here.
Yeah, and that's kind of fun to see. This big-time football, high school football here. It's a good program. They're in a very good conference, and they made the playoffs. I think we said 16 out of the last 24 years. Last year they won 1 and lost 1 in the playoffs. So a lot of tradition here at this high school.
I was talking to one of the police officers here tonight, and he said they built this complex, I think, 20 years ago.
Really? Yeah. It was very nice. Nice facility here. We looked in the distance when it was still daylight, saw baseball, softball, maybe tennis in the distance there out to the east, and this is just very nice. Nice facilities.
One of the better press boxes we've ever broadcast from.
Lots of space here. Yeah. The only thing we questioned was, or seemed to be a lot farther away from the field, but we're high. We can see it. The other thing I've never mentioned either, don't like to be a complainer. I'm not a complainer, but the Triad jerseys are a little hard to see those numbers. We went through that a couple years ago with Lincoln until they switched some jerseys, but these are kind of hard to pick up numbers sometimes, red with black and white trim.
It certainly is, and they're getting ready to kick it away. And, of course, all our kickoffs sponsored by Chicago Street Rentals, located at 1909 North Kickapoo Street in Lincoln. Perry Weinbrenner and his fine crew bringing you all the construction equipment you need to get your job done. And as Coach told you, Isaac Decker and Keon Carson back to receive the kick from the Triad Knights, and it'll be Jake Stewart kicking it away for the Knights. And all our kickoffs, as I said, sponsored by Chicago Street Rentals. And here's the boot by Stewart. It's going to be a long one to Keon Carson, and he's in the end zone. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. It'll be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down. And that's the way we like it, baby. 1st and 10 for the Rail Splitters at their own 20-yard line. 21-0 as we start the second half in favor of Triad. I don't know who this young man that's been running the ball in and out, but he's got his work done tonight for the officials. Darren Stevens will bring his team up to the line of scrimmage. Of course, Ryan O'Donohue, one of the captains for Lincoln, will snap it. Stevens out of the shotgun. He's got a man in motion. Hands it off to his fullback off the left side. Nice play. He's going to go. Peyton Bunner down to the 39-yard line before he's tripped up. And that's going to be another Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down. And that's the way we like it, baby. Some good blocking off the center of the line there. Ryan O'Donohue and Evan Wackendorf opened up a big hole for Peyton Bunner.
And he busted through it, Bob, and then ran hard into the secondary and picked up some nice yards on first down. A good way to start the quarter.
At the 39-yard line, Lincoln ready to go again. They come to the line of scrimmage. They're set. Keon goes in motion. Keon going to try to make the turn along the sideline, and he's knocked down just as he gets up to the 40. They should give him the 41-yard line, a 2-yard pickup. Looks like that's where they're going to spot it. He was hit hard there. He made the turn, but there was one of the linebackers waiting for him, so it'll be 2nd and 8 for the Rail Splitters. Make it 2nd and 7.
Well, the mistake I think Keon made is he got around the corner, and then he came to a brief stop, Bob, and once he stops, he's a fair game. Somebody's going to knock him down. He needs to keep running until he runs out of bounds or down the field. Kenai
Carson splits it here to the near side. Darren Stevens has got the snap, got a little bit of time along the sideline. It was Colby Glenn, the intended receiver, and it is complete and just a couple yards short of a first down.
He got that out to the 47, I think, and that was a 6-yard pickup.
Going to be 3rd and 3 for the Rail Splitters at their own 42-yard line. Early third quarter, Lincoln trails at 21-0. Ryan O'Donohue up over the football. Kobe Glenn split wide to the left. To the near side is Kenai Carson. Now Keon in the slot here on the near side. Darren Stevens looks for Keon. He's got him, and he's taken down. He caught the pass at the 49-yard line, and that's what they're going to give Keon. And I think that's a first down, Coach.
Yeah, I think
it is.
I think they got enough for the first down. Didn't need much and didn't get much, but just enough to be a first down on the 49-yard line.
And that's a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down for the Rail Splitters, and that's the way we like it, at our own 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Darren goes to the sideline, gets the play from Coach Matt Silkowski. Coach Silkowski in his 6th year here at the head of the Rail Splitters. Colby Glenn split far to the Y side of the field. Here to the near side is Kenai Carson. Man in motion. They hand it off to Peyton Bunner up the middle, and he stayed. Good battle by Peyton Bunner. They stopped him at the line of scrimmage, and he ended up picking up 2 yards into Triad territory at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, he got hit hard, as you said, Bob, but he just didn't go down, and he lunged forward for another yard.
Well, like you always say, Coach Schweitzer, either if you're making a tackle or running the football, you got to keep those puppies moving, and you can do a good job.
He's leading rusher tonight with 6 carries and 43 yards for the Railers unofficially.
Darren Stevens back into the huddle. O'Donohue up over the football. The freshman Zach Poole getting the start tonight, 6'4", 270 at the right guard. Stevens looks along the line of scrimmage. Now he's got the snap. Now he's going to run with the football. Now he throws it up ahead. He was going to get tackled, and he decided to get rid of it.
Yeah. He had people hanging on him. I'm not sure that was a great decision to try to throw it, but he did it and got away with it that time.
So an incompletion, I believe, will make it 3rd and 8 now for the Rail Splitters at their own 49-yard line. Stevens got the play. The junior quarterback has done a good job here. His 1st year running the Rail Splitters. Ledley, the tight end for the Rail Splitters.
I wondered how we got that extra yard there. He had it on the 48 instead of the 49.
Colby Glenn. Now Stevens wants to throw back on his heels and incomplete. He was back on his heels, and he had a tough time because there was a lot of pressure coming at him, and he tried to throw it to Peyton Bunner along the sideline.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to set up a screen pass, and it got batted down before he got a chance to get to Bunner. But if it got to Bunner, I'm not sure he'd have picked up many more yards because there were several red shirts coming after him, too.
Now a 4th down situation. Looks like we're going to go for it. We're down by 3 touchdowns, so it looks like the Rail Splitters are going to go for it right here on the 4th and 8. At the Triad 49-yard line. Colby Glenn split wide to the right, and they blow it dead. Keon Carson went in motion, and now a timeout was called by Triad before the snap. We'll take a 30-second timeout, and we'll be back. Triad leads Lincoln 21-0.
Hollandberry and Bennett Funeral Home was built on a tradition of trust and caring. Located in Lincoln, Hollandberry and Bennett is family-owned and operated, offering loved ones comfortable facilities and caring professionals Chris and Leslie Bennett. Loss of a loved one is one of the most difficult challenges anyone can face, and it's important to have a funeral home you can trust to provide peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com.
Lincoln Rail Splitter football from St. Clair County tonight, and we were supposed to punt it, but we didn't want to punt it, so as you said, Coach, Triad had to call a timeout.
Well, they were expecting the punt, and the Railers didn't do that, so they had a personnel issue, guys scrambling in and out, and rather than get caught shorthanded, they took the timeout.
Well, down by 3 touchdowns, Coach Shilkowski wants to go with it. 8:56 left in the third quarter. Ryan O'Donohue comes up over the football. Darren Stevens out of the shotgun. Man in motion's Keon Carson. Stevens wants to throw. He does on the screen pass to Keon Carson. Here he goes. He's got a first down and more. He dances across the 40 to the 30. Keon on his feet across the 25 deep into Triad territory. A beautiful play on the screen pass on the wide side of the field to Keon Carson. And a 1st and 10, a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down. And that's the way we like it, baby. At the 23-yard line of the Triad Knights.
That was a 26-yard pickup and a nice run after the catch by Keon, Bob, and had to shake a couple guys trying to catch up to him, and he got it down deep in their territory.
So it's not over till it's over. The Rail Splitters now line it up. Here to the near side is Kenai Carson. We got a man in the slot out there, and now we got a man in motion on the pitch. And Isaac Decker throws it up ahead to Keon Carson. He runs out of bounds. Nice play. Darren Stevens pitched it in the backfield to Isaac Decker, and he threw it up ahead to Keon Carson, and he ran it for a first down, and that's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down at the 13-yard line. Well-designed play, Coach.
Well, we saw that halfback pass last week against Taylorville, Bob, at Lincoln, and this time they ran it again, and different thrower, different catcher, but same results.
Stevens into the huddle. Kenai Carson here on the near side hash mark. Snap to Stevens. He's got a little time. Throws along the sideline. Complete. And that was completed to Peyton Bunner. Bunner at the 10, so a 3-yard pickup for the Rail Splitters. It will be 2nd and 7 at the 10-yard line. 8:05 left for the quarter. Lincoln trails at 21-0, but on the march here, Coach.
Yeah, this is their best scoring opportunity of the evening, Bob, and it's pretty critical to get to make this count and get it into the end zone.
Kenai Carson here on the right side. Keon goes in motion, and now Stevens going to keep it, and he lunges up ahead, picked up a couple yards before he was stopped. That was on 2nd and 7. Now it's going to be 3rd down. Let's see if they spot it.
I think it's on about the 8-yard line. He only got a couple on that. They just didn't get a very big push up front, and he got a couple, but it's 3rd down. We got 2 downs here to try to get it in the end zone.
Got to get it down past the 4-yard line, and we're at the 8. Approximately 3rd and 4, 3rd and 4.5 maybe. Kobe Glenn splits wide to the right. Here's the snap. They hand it off to Keon, and he spun down in the backfield at the 14, and there's a flag on the field.
Late flag. Let's see what that...
They had the blitz on, and Keon tried to take it around the wide side of the field and just couldn't go anywhere. Stop the clock with 7 minutes left in the third quarter.
The only way you get your guy to run that sweep to the outside is to stop the penetration, and we just haven't done it. It looks like it's a face mask against Triad.
That's going to be a big penalty if it's an intentional face pass.
It's another break for the Railers.
Walk off the penalty from the infraction.
It's going to be a first down, I think, automatic first down.
They placed the ball at the 9.
Maybe it's not an automatic.
So it's going to be, they say it's going to be, I would say third and, like I said before, about 4.5.
I think we wound up losing ground on that play somehow.
Stevens going to keep it himself. And he may have got maybe to the 6 or 7 yard line.
We were on the 8 to start that last play before the penalty, and then we started it on the 9, so I'm not sure what happened there.
There's been some strange placements.
He gets it down to about the 6 yard line.
Would they? There should have been some penalty for a face mask.
Yeah. Anyway, it's 4th and about, what do you say, about 3 yards to go.
Yes, sir. 4th and 3, 6:20, clock's moving. Kenai Carson here to the far side of the field. O'Donohue comes out of the huddle. Colby Glenn on the far side of the field.
Get a good push.
Stevens got the snap. Hands it off to the fullback. Bunner. He tries to spin.
I don't think he made it.
Not going to make the first down.
I think he got down to about the 4.
The defense holds for Triad after a nice drive by the Rail Splitters. So now it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Triad Knights with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. A big stop there for the defense of Triad.
13-play drive there, Bob. Started on their own 20, got it down to the 5 yard line, but couldn't quite get the first down and get it into the end zone.
1st and 10 for the Triad Knights. They came in tonight with 6 wins and 2 losses. And they picked up one of their wins on a forfeit from Mount Vernon.
That's true.
Funk out of the shotgun, almost back by, and he tries a nice defense there. Hang on to him. Yeah, 3 Rail Splitters there. Jared Fultz is there. First guy there, I think, was number 17 for the Rail Splitters, Peyton Johnson, and there was another Rail Splitter there too.
He lost a yard on it.
2nd and 11. Rail Splitters won't give up. Jared Fultz up there for the Rail Splitters, along with Jaden Ledley. Evan Wackendorf. Here we go. Snap to Funk. Pitches it out to his running back, and he's up to about the 9-10 yard line. First guy to hit him was Jaden Ledley.
Well, he got to tried to get to the outside. Ledley was there to make the stop, Bob, on but he picked up, where'd they put it, on about the 10, so he got about 6 yards out of that.
It's been a while ago. I apologize. I couldn't pick up who the tackler was, and now I understand who it is. He's a senior in there, Sebastian Hill, one of the guys up there on the front line for the Rail Splitters. 5'6", 240. Here's the play. They break the tackle. They've got a first down and more, and a lot of the Lincoln players there to stop him. But Sebastian Hill getting a lot of playing time tonight, Coach. He's a senior. He's 5'6", 240 pounds.
Well, he's not very tall, but he's got some good bulk to him in there. And
I wasn't familiar with him in the lineup. Now I finally see his number. And he made a couple of big stops earlier in that first half. 4:33 left for the third quarter. Clock on the move. 1st and 10 at the 17 for the Triad Knights. Nick Funk, their fine quarterback, out of the shotgun, the wing formation. Got the snap. Throws the screen pass. It's complete. He breaks the tackle. He's got a first down and more. Finally spun down along the sideline. Colby Glenn on the tackle for the Rail Splitters. At the 39-yard line, they'll move the chains 1st and 10. And now with the 3-touchdown lead, Triad's starting to eat up some clock.
Well, and some yardage now. We had them pinned back on their own 5, put them back on the 4, but then they had a couple big plays and got 2 first downs.
No huddle. Funk out of the gun. Man in motion. Hands it off to him. He makes the turn. He's at the 40, the 45, the 50 into Lincoln territory at the 45, 40. Going to run along the sideline, and he's going to go all the way for the touchdown. From the 36-yard line, touchdown for the Triad Knights. And I'll try and pick up who that was.
I think that was their Randall, I think.
So that would be number 11, Randall.
You know, I think we got a flag out here, Bob. That's going to call that back. Yes.
Well, I didn't holding against the Knights, so I didn't give any score. 3:48 left on the clock, and don't write that one down in the books.
Not yet, no.
They're going to spot the football at the Triad 27-yard line. The original line of scrimmage was at the 36.
Yeah, I don't know what their history all year long, Bob, has been with penalties, but they've had a ton of them tonight that have really killed them drive-wise, and they still have a 3-touchdown lead here against the Railers.
Well, they'll be in the playoffs, and that's really going to hurt them with penalties like that. 3:48 left for the third quarter. Lincoln trails Triad 21-0, and we got a good break there on the hold. Here we go. Funk out of the shotgun. 1st and 20. Man in motion. He gets the handoff. Makes the turn at the 30. Dances to the 35. Straight arm and ran out of bounds by Isaac Decker. Isaac Decker.
I tell you, the hard to be a defensive lineman, defensive end, to shed blocks, and that's a key thing to do. But it's not easy to take on a blocker and get rid of him and then find the ball carrier.
2nd down. Funk on the long count. Hands off. No, he's going to keep it himself. He rambles, and a couple rail splitters take him down. First guy there was Colby Glenn. He wrapped him up nice, and that's the way the Coach Schweitzer likes it.
Yeah, he did a nice job of wrapping him up and getting him to the ground before he tried to get away from him.
Colby Glenn is a junior, 5'11", 160-pounder, one of the safeties for Lincoln. 3rd and down now. 3rd and about 9. The 38ers, the snap to Funk, throws it across the middle. He's got his main receiver there. And that's Cockrell, man. He likes to fight, and he's got a 1st down. He was short of the 1st down, and Tayshawn Cockrell took it for the 1st down before a couple of rail splitters could take him down.
Yeah, Colby Glenn made the first initial hit but couldn't get him down, and I think it was Gabe Smith came in and helped make the final stop.
Also in there for the rail splitters, Nico Sundin. He plays up on that front line for the rail splitters. 1st and 10 for the Knights. 3:05 left for the third quarter. Stewart snaps it to Funk. Here comes good pressure there by Bunner. The Funk gets away from him along the sideline, throws it up ahead, and they're going to call it complete, but I don't know, Coach. There's a flag on the field. I thought he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw that pass.
I think it might have been.
I don't know if they called it. There's a flag out there, but I thought he was on the run about a yard past the line of scrimmage.
Let's see the call here. What are they doing? Well, they're discussing it out there. Triad looks like they're walking back a little bit.
I got a flash for you here. The ball boy this year for Lincoln, the rail splitters, is Logan O'Donohue, Ryan O'Donohue's brother. So a lot of fun for the O'Donohue brothers this year.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're going to lose one. Ryan, a senior this year.
Yeah, he's done a great job. He's always fired up. You always see him having a good time playing football for the rail splitters.
So now they're bringing the ball back. Whatever they were trying to call, they didn't call. Nope. Yep, they did call.
That's a penalty against the Knights. And then the Knights are dejected walking back up the field. Now they're walking back to the Mississippi River.
That sure took a long time to do that.
This official's on a mission. He's walking way deep back into Triad territory.
Yeah. He might know.
Now he's going to step it off from the 38. He's not done yet.
I think he knows.
Man.
I think they know they're on TV. They're putting on a show here for us.
They are. All the way back to the 23-yard line.
You shouldn't be like that. I shouldn't be like that.
You tell it like it is, Coach.
It does seem like they've...
back to the 23-yard line.
It's been a long time.
I don't know what the now it's 1st and long. They got to go from St. Clair County to Logan County.
You better add that up. a lot of yards.
Too much for me. 2:51 left in the third quarter.
About 35.
There's the snap. Funk. He's going to try and get it all back on one throw. Pick that off. Incomplete, out of bounds. Good coverage out there. That was Kenai Carson again on the coverage, and incomplete. Oh, thank you.
He had a good arm. He threw it all.
Thanks. So 2:45 left on the clock, and now it's going to be second down and very long.
I think we figured about 35 yards here.
Funk, let's see if he tries to get it all back at once again. No, he hands off to a running back, and he's got a big hole there at the 30, 35, and a nice hit there. That's Isaac Decker and a flag. Isaac Decker looked like he was at the rodeo as he spun him down at the 38-yard line, but there was a flag on the play.
It could be against Lincoln, I'm not sure. Yeah, face mask is what they're calling on Railers.
Oh, boy. Keep trading back and forth. Sebastian Hill running to the sideline. He's got some good playing time tonight, and he deserves it. He's a senior, stuck with the program all the way through. Football now at the Triad 43-yard line, and they're still a long way from a first down.
Yeah, but they're a lot closer than they were. It's second down only, so they got couple downs here to make it.
2:36 on the third quarter clock. Funk's got the snap. Keeps it himself. He's at the 45, 50, 45, 40 along the sideline. Finally taken out of bounds. And the tackle made by Gabe Smith for the Rail Splitters. Gabriel Smith. He's a sophomore, 6 foot, 160. But not before Triad gets a big first down.
Well, they started on their own 5, and with penalties both ways, they finally dug themselves out down to the Lincoln 33-yard line, and the drive continues.
Stop the clock as he went out of bounds at 2:27. Now they wind it back up again, and we're ready to go. Play clock at 18 seconds. Nick Funk, the quarterback, senior. He's got the snap. Hands off to his big fullback, and he's inside the 30. Tackle for Lincoln made by Evan Wackendorf. Ball at the 28-yard line now. 2nd and 5 for the Knights. Late third quarter, under a minute 50. I want to say hi to Joe Hackett out on his front porch listening to the football game tonight in Emden. Funk's got the snap. This time hands off to one of his running backs. Back to the line of scrimmage at the 25. First guy there to take him down we'll wait until he gets up. That was number 17, Peyton Johnson for the Rail Splitters on the tackle. Ball at the 25-yard line.
About a 3-yard pickup on that. Yeah, the Railers, they make some big plays. They just haven't been able to string enough of them together to slow down this Knight offense.
3rd and 2. Owen Grant, number 33's got some good playing time for the Rail Splitters tonight. Stewart up over the football. Funk on the count. He's got a man in motion. Fake the handoff. Did he keep it himself?
Yeah, I think so. Right up the middle.
On the tackle for Lincoln.
So he's on the 24-yard line, picked up 1. You know, we have a hard time finding the ball up here, Bob, so you can imagine what it's like down there on ground level.
Up under center, I'm pretty sure that was Noah Rochelle on the tackle for Lincoln. And now here's the play. Going to be close to a first down on the quarterback keep.
I think he got it. He didn't need much. Less than a yard, and he got a yard plus. They got in a real tight formation there and just ground it straight ahead. He got down to about the 22-yard line on the first down.
So they moved the sideline chains. The 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
I think that they're going to let the clock run out here for the end of the quarter, Bob.
Well, it's a long countdown. Still got 17 seconds till the end of the quarter. And the one that finally does get down to goose eggs, the score is going to be The Triad Knights 21 and the Lincoln Rail Splitters 0. And we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back in a minute.
Running errands, shuttling kids to practices, and still have to stop by the store. Sound familiar? At Town & Country Bank, we love seeing our customers, but we know that can't always happen. That's why we make managing your money easy with our mobile app. You can deposit checks, transfer funds, or make payments through your smartphone or tablet. Plus, we offer text banking and an interactive online budget tool to keep you on track. Visit townandcountrybank.com to learn more. Town & Country Bank, side by side, member FDIC.
The Lincoln Rail Splitter football on 96.3 FM WLCN out of Atlanta and Lincoln. Ball's going to be placed at the 22-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 as we start the fourth quarter for the Triad Knights with the score Triad 21 and the Rail Splitters 0.
Well, neither team scored that quarter, Bob. They both had one possession, both long possessions, and now we start the fourth. Still same score, 21-0.
Triad to the line of scrimmage. Funk out of the shotgun's got a man in motion. Got the snap. Good pressure by the Rail Splitters. They throw a screen pass and tripped up. Nice tackle there, but not before they got some big yardage. Tackle made by Isaac Decker. The man that made the catch was Tayshawn Cockrell, the junior. Ball at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, 11-yard pickup. He was standing out there all by himself waiting for the pass, Bob, and then he made the catch and a nice run afterwards before Decker was able to trip him up.
Early fourth quarter. Isaac Decker, quite a few tackles tonight for the Rail Splitters. Funk out of the gun. Got a man in motion. Hands to his fullback. No. Hands to one of the running backs. They faked me out on the handoff, and he's down at the 9-yard line. Hayden Bunner in on the tackle for Lincoln along with Gabe Smith.
Yeah, nice job there defensive. Those two, they made a nice stop there right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe gave him a yard.
So it'll be 2nd down. Funk looks to the sideline to the signals from his offensive people. And we're ready to go. Funk on the long count. Now he's got a man in motion. Gets the snap. Wants to keep
he fumbled.
Fumble, and he got it back. He tried a little juke play there to go to the inside, and he dropped the football, and luckily he got it back.
Yeah, luckily for a Triad, unluckily for the Railers, but he even wound up picking up a yard to the 9-yard line on it. So it's going to be a 3rd down now, and it's not goal to go. They need to get down to about the 1-yard line for a 1st down.
They have to wait for the signaling from the sideline for their plays. It's no huddle, but they still have to wait for the proper signal for the play. Funk waits for the snap. He's got it. Wants to throw to the end zone. And
he does.
Touchdown. He was right on the money. Trying to pick up who that is. I think that's Cockrell again. It is Tayshawn Cockrell on the touchdown for the Knights. That'll make it 27-0. They brought a lot of fireworks here tonight.
Well, they got a lot to celebrate there. Their team's doing well and playing well here tonight.
It'll attempt the extra point. This will be Jake Stewart. It's through the uprights, and that'll make the score. The Triad Knights 28 and the Rail Splitter 0. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
How you holding up? Nothing wrong with getting help.
If I promise to look into it, Will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
You're listening to Lincoln Rail Splitter football. 10 seniors playing their last game for the Rail Splitters out there tonight. Isaac Decker, Peyton Johnson, Jaden Ledley, Jared Foltz, David Morrow, Nico Sundin, Ryan O'Donohue. All our kickoffs sponsored by Chicago Street Rentals. And here's the boot. Short. And it's going to be a short one.
Great job.
Great job there. We'll have to pick up, see who did that.
I think that was Jaden Gully.
Jaden Gully, the sophomore who got a start tonight. One of the good hands guys for the Rail Splitters. Where's the number 20? And he did a good job there. And that's the way we like it. It's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down. That's the way we like it, baby. The good hands there of Gully, Jaden Gully for the Rail Splitters.
Well, that was an intentional short kick there, and tried to catch Lincoln not paying attention, and Gully was there and made a nice grab over his shoulder and hung on to it because he had red shirts were there hitting him as he caught it.
At the 36-yard line, O'Donohue up over the football. Man in motion, snap. Here's the handoff off the left side, and I believe that's Peyton Bunner.
Yes.
It is. Picked up a couple of yards. Some more of those seniors we were talking about. Ryan O'Donohue, Braden Denny, Noah Rochelle, and Sebastian Hill, the 10 seniors for the Rail Splitters, playing their last game for the Rail Splitters on the football. Split out wide to the right is Gabe Smith. 28-0. Triad leads it. Here on the near side is Colby Glenn. Bunner in the backfield. The wings are Decker. Here's the handoff to Bunner on the right side. Nice pickup to the 40-yard line. 3-yard pickup. So it'll be third down for Lincoln. Picked up a yard there. Make it the 39-yard line.
He got 2 on that. We have him unofficially with 73 yards rushing tonight, Bob, on about 10 carries.
Got some good up-and-coming players for the Rail Splitters.
Well, that's the key, and they need to develop and improve between now and next fall, and that should be good to go into the Central State 8 Conference.
Out of the gun, here's the snap. A lot of pressure, had to get rid of it. Darren Stevens saw him out of the corner of the eye coming after him on the blitz, and Darren, all he could do is just quickly unload it so he didn't get sacked.
Exactly. Somebody came through clean, nobody picked him up, and Darren had no option but what he did. So it's going to be 4th and long, and I think the Railers from their own 39-yard line are probably going to punt it away.
Ledley's coming out to punt it away. It'll be Isaac Decker on the long snap. Joe Dom up there on the front line for the Rail Splitters. He's a junior. He's one of the guys that will be coming back. Also, Kenai Carson. Where's the number 2? Evan Walkendorf will be back next senior. He's a junior. Here's the snap. Ledley's got it. He blasts it away. Another nice long kick. Caught at the 29. Rail Splitters there. Trying to take him down. Nice run there. Stays on his feet and finally tripped up to the 40. There's a flag on the field.
There's 2 flags, one on each side. I don't know if it was for the same infraction or if there was 2 different things.
It was, I believe, Keon Carson on the tackle for the Rail Splitters. It's all the way across the other side of the field. As he gets closer, I'll be able to tell if that's the number 24. No, that was Gully on the tackle. Jaden Gully. I could see the 2. I couldn't make out the second digit. Jaden Gully on the tackle. Official talking it over.
It's a hold against Triad.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Triad after they figure out the penalties. Marching it off right now.
I think it's going to go back to about the 26-yard line.
You're right, Coach. 1st and 10 at the 26. Nico Sundin, the first guy up there on the line for the Rail Splitters, along with Evan Walkendorf. Ledley's up there. And here we go. Funk out of the shotgun. 1st and 10 at the 36. Hands off to his man in motion. And a good job. Good, nice tackle out there.
Took a while to get him down, but they slowed him down and held him up until he got some reinforcements over there on the far sideline, Bob. Maybe you picked up a number a long way away I couldn't see.
I saw the first guy that hit him to hold him up. That was Keon Carson, and then he had some other guys come in and help him out.
Just a 2-yard pickup, a good first down play on the defense from Lincoln.
Ryan Frugier was in on that tackle. Hand off to the fullback.
Pitch.
And knocked out of bounds, it looks like the 35-yard line.
That was a true option there. They just faked the dive, quarterback kept, and then pitched to the outside, to the short side of the field. Didn't have a lot of running room, but not before the Lincoln ran him out on about the 32.
I told you before the game, Coach, I'm trying to get a patent on contacts with binoculars in them.
Yeah.
Haven't got it yet. 3rd and 4 at the 32 for Triad. Funk out of the shotgun in that wing formation. He's got 2 wide receivers. He's got a man in motion. Hands it to his fullback, and he's stopped short of a first down. That was Frugier again on the tackle for the Rail Splitters. Ryan Frugier.
Fourth and about 1. They look like they're going to they may try to draw Lincoln off sides. Nope, he's going for it. I think he got it.
Yeah, he definitely got it. They hold him up finally at the 40-yard line. Quite a few Rail Splitters there. I couldn't pick out who the first guy there was. Quarterback sneak. Could have been Sebastian Hill. Hard to tell from up here.
Yeah, he got 5 yards on that.
They move the chains. 1st and 10 for Triad. 7:12 left for the season for the Rail Splitters. They trail at 28-0 here at Triad. Quite a celebration here. As Coach told you, the big high school, big-time high school atmosphere. Here's the snap to Funk. He's going to keep it himself. Breaks it.
Then he pitched it.
Now he pitches it, and running back's close up to a first down.
He holds on to that ball a long time, Bob, and then pitches it right at the last second. Sometimes it's just a short one, but gets some extra yards out near midfield.
Look like the man on the stop for Lincoln. Boy, it's hard to tell. He's up on that front line. Boy, that is a deceptive.
There's a nice play. Hey, that was a great play played right. There's a flag on the far side, but he played. That was the same guy on the tackle. Is that 33? Yes.
Yeah, that's Owen Grant. He's made back-to-back tackles.
Well, he played through a block, Bob. He had to fight through a block and did that to get to the ball carrier and took him down. A great effort.
Yeah, he was the guy I couldn't pick up on that last play. I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. I hate to say who it is until I can tell. And it looks like a penalty against the Knights. So back-to-back tackles by the junior Owen Grant for the Rail Splitters. Grant's a 6'1", 180-pound junior.
That's a good size, and best thing is he's a junior.
Yeah, he's a good athlete. He's got a brother that's a wrestler. His pops was a wrestler. Funk out of the shotgun, 2nd and 11. He wants to throw it across the middle. Incomplete. Good coverage out there.
I think it went right in and out of the hands of his receiver way out there. He had a chance to complete it, but as you said, Lincoln had a defender there right with him.
Yeah, it was Christian Brown. He's also another junior. Now Grant will go to the sideline. Jared Fultz comes back in. 3rd and 11 for the black, red, and white of the Knights.
I think they've got their backup quarterback in now too, Bob. Isaac Ackerman.
Good call, Coach. Here's a good run along the sideline. Isaac Ackerman's father is one of the assistant principals here at Triad. I was talking to him before the game.
He's a 5'9", 170-pound sophomore, Isaac Ackerson. Ackerman.
We saw Ackerman come into the game last year late at Lincoln. 4th and 2 now. 4-down territory for the Knights at their own 48-yard line. Ackerman comes up under center. Trying to pull us offside, takes the snap, pitches it in the backfield to the fullback. He spins.
He's reaching, he loses the ball. I'm not sure who got on it.
It's going to be close.
And depend where they spot it here.
The official is just on the back side, about a football length behind the 50. And the first down marker's right on the 50. It's short, 1st and 10. It's a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down for the Rail Splitters, and that's the way we like it, baby, with 4:56 left in the game. Excellent field position for the Rail Splitters. Just a football length inside the 50 in Triad territory.
Now they had to reassure themselves that that's the right call, and it was.
And it was a good call for the Rail Splitters. We're going to get another series of downs here. Now they place it at the 49-yard line. He picked up a yard there on the replacement.
We take a yard any way we can get it.
That's right. Kenai Carson split here to the near side.
I think we're going to see, and I'm sure we're seeing some substitutions out there for Triad now on defense.
Number 65, one of the captains for Lincoln, Ryan O'Donohue, 6'3", 315, the center for the Rail Splitters. He'll snap it to Darren Stevens. He hands off to Keon Carson at the 50, at the 45, along the sideline at the 40, and he's ran out of bounds, pushed out of bounds. At the 35-yard line, just short. They're going to call it a first down.
Yeah, he got a first down. That was almost a disaster in the backfield. It looked like they kind of bobbled the handoff there, but Keon got control quickly and got a nice run out over the left side and out of bounds at about the 35.
And that is a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down. That's the way we like it, baby. Split wide to the right side is Gabe Smith. To the near side is Kenai Carson. Stevens waits for the snap from O'Donohue. He's got it. Looks. Now he throws along the sideline. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Kenai Carson. Had to come back for it. Good coverage on him. 2nd and 10. Now they stop the clock with 4:45 left. Triad leads the Rail Splitters 28-0. Ball spotted at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10. O'Donohue out there flanked at the guard positions by Walkendorf, and down the tackles are Sanders and Poole. Here's the snap and the run. And there's a flag on the play in the backfield. Isaac Decker was the man with the football. Was O'Donohue all right? Yeah, they help him up. Good sportsmanship.
Decker kind of bounced. A guy just came through, got into the backfield, and Decker kind of bounced off him like a pinball and got forward for a couple yards to see where they place it. Is there a penalty down here?
I saw him throw a flag, Coach, in the backfield. Ball's at the 33.
Officials are talking to the Triad captain down there, I think.
Official come to the sideline. Now he's going to talk to the Triad coach. 4:30 left on the clock for the game. You're listening to Lincoln Rail Splitter football on 96.3 FM WLCN.
Well, I think it's a hold against the Railers. It's going to be a 10-yard walk-off here.
Walking back towards Lincoln territory, but he'll stop before then at the Triad 43-yard line. The Rail Splitters will have a second down situation here.
Second, about 17, 18 yards for the first down. Clock's running.
Kobe Glenn split wide to the right. Kenai Carson in the slot on the right side. In motion goes Isaac Decker, and he's not going to throw it. He's going to run along the sideline, puts his head down, and let's say where he ran out of bounds at. Looks like at about the 38-yard line. That would be a 5-yard pickup.
They had enough speed to get out there and keep him from turning up the field on the sideline and running a long way, but he just still picked up about 7, 8 yards on the play. I don't know. Wait a minute. Make that.
Going to be 3rd and long for the Rail Splitters. I thought
about
for a
5.
second.
You got about 5.
I thought that was going to be a halfback option there for a second, Coach. There's that Kobe Glenn here to the near side. Stevens, lone man on the backfield, low snap, and he just kneels down and grabs it for a loss. So now it'll be 4th down for the Rail Splitters. You're going to have to go for the long pass here.
The ball was low and the defense was coming. He didn't have much else to do but take a knee and go for the next play.
Stevens has got a good head out of him. He doesn't ever panic.
And we talked early, he's turned the ball over so infrequently this year, and he makes good decisions out there, and glad he's going to be back next year for his senior year.
Yeah, good kid.
He's really grown here this year too, starting in on the first game of the year. He's gotten better every game.
Yeah, he's a good student of the game. Timeout, Rail Splitters, and we'll take a timeout. Triad leads us 28-0. We'll be back in a minute.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Lincoln Rail Splitter football from St. Clair County. 4th and 13 for the Rail Splitters. Here's the snap to Stevens. He's going to throw a long pass. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Isaac Decker. Kobe Glenn was out there, but the intended receiver was Isaac Decker. But great coverage there by the Triad team.
Yeah, if he could have thrown just a little farther, he might have had a chance to hit Kobe Glenn down there. But that was a long way to go, and just couldn't quite hook up with him.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Triad Knights at their own 43-yard line. Stop the clock on the incompletion. 2:38 left in the football game. Rail Splitters have had a good season. They came into this game 4-4. They'll walk out of here 4-5. Many seasons, we were talking coming down, Coach, we've just come up short with 4 and 5 seasons.
Yeah, this is the third one in a row when you discount the spring season we had in 2020.
Ackerman out of the gun. He's got the snap. Hands off to his running back. He's at the 50 to the 45, 40, and finally taken down about the 35. Nice open field tackle there by guess who? Isaac Decker.
Yeah, he had great running room. He got down to the line of scrimmage and just it opened up. There was no white shirts there to defend him, and he ran a long way before Decker was finally able to stop him there, but not till he got down to the 34-yard line.
Official keeps the clock running. 2:23 remaining. Ball, as you said, at the 34-yard line. Isaac Ackerman's a sophomore quarterback, 5'9", 170. He's got the snap. This time we'll see his arm along the sideline. He's got a completion. The tackle for Lincoln is made by Christian Brown. Brown's got quite a few tackles this game. Ball at the 29-yard line. Second down and 6 now. Owen Grant getting some playing time out there along with Sebastian Hill. They both run off the field, keeping the legs fresh on the defense. Coach getting ready to send a couple other players in. 2nd and 5 for Isaac Ackerman, and now checking in a little bit late is a player for Triad. Here's the snap to Ackerman. Hands off to the fullback, and he's taken down by Jared Fultz. Jared Fultz on the tackle for the Rail Splitters.
When they got a lot of substitutions in there, they having a hard time getting some of their plays off and getting them to run as smooth as they'd like. But nonetheless, that time they had to run in Jason Randall, one of their leading rushers all game, to fill a spot, and now he's back off the field.
3rd and 3 at the 27. Under a minute now. And Ackerman and the Knights in no hurry now. Ackerman out of the gun. He's got the fullback behind him in the wing formation. Here's the snap. Hands off to his running back in motion at the 25 along the sideline. 20, and he's stopped there. Nice tackle again made by Isaac Decker for the Rail Splitters. Isaac Decker lowered the boom on him.
Yeah, he got out of bounds to stop the clock. I'm not sure they'll start it. Yeah, they are starting it up, so that may be the last play of the game. Yeah.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
They may have to take one more snap.
If they do, it'll be in a victory formation. 20 seconds. They're letting it count down. The play clock goes ahead of the...
About a second difference. They'll run a play here.
Ackerman brings him to the line of scrimmage. They're just going to snap it to him in the shotgun. He's got penalty.
He kept the ball.
Ackerman kept it himself. He's finally spun down by Owen Grant, but there was a penalty on the play. And illegal procedure.
Lincoln declined that, and that's the end of the game.
A goose egg's on the board, and the final score, the Triad Knights 28 and the Lincoln Rail Splitters 0. And they'll line up and shake hands, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead. STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. The only limit is your imagination. Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
All right, Lincoln Rail Splitter football from St. Clair County, Triad High School. Unfortunately, this wasn't the night for the Rail Splitters. They go down 28-0. We got a lot of people to thank. Coach, first of all, head coach Matt Silkowski and the fine program he brings to Lincoln. The Rail Splitters end up with a record of 4-5 this season.
Yeah, it was a disappointing night. Everybody had high hopes. I'll tell you, we were just kind of outmatched tonight. This team from Triad is very good, and we just had a hard time making offense work, and it was hard to stop them, and they may go a ways in the playoffs, but unfortunately the Raiders didn't make the playoffs again, and 4-5, not what they wanted, but as you said, we had some seniors, not a lot of seniors. You always like to have more, but the good thing is you got a lot of kids coming back to start next year, and next year will get here before you know it. Hope for a lot of hard work in the off season to get prepared for it, but before you know it, we'll be playing Springfield Lamp here in Springfield on the 25th of August.
On their brand new field. We want to thank all our fans, the fans that come to the games, travel all this distance to the games, and of course the fans out there that listen to our broadcasts. Also to the sponsors, the people that pay the bills for us, let us bring the game to you. Thanking Coach General Manager Jim Ash, who lets us broadcast the games. And of course, Lloyd Kirby, who not only is the engineer for these games, he goes out and gets a lot of the sponsors for us. I want to thank Joe Lee in her rookie season back at the station, turning the knobs for us and keeping us on the air and running the commercials for us. And of course, I want to thank my partner and chauffeur, Coach Ken Schweitzer. Thanks for another great season, Coach.
Hey, thank you, Bob. You did a great job. It was a fun season. We had some nice trips, and look forward to it again next fall.
Well, we'll miss those 10 seniors that are going to move on, but we'll reload, and as you said, do it again against Lanphier.
Looking forward to it.
Final score, the Triad Knights 28, the Lincoln Rail Splitters 0. Bobby V reporting. We'll talk to you next year. Have a safe road trip, and thanks for listening. Unfortunately, the final score 28-0. We'll be back next, the last Friday of August.
WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com present Lincoln Community High School Rail Splitter Football. WLCN's live stream video coverage of Railer football is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Chestnut Health Systems, offering a comprehensive scope of behavioral health and human services in Illinois and Missouri. Phone 888-924-3786. Me Realty, locally owned and operated. Me Realty is Logan County's top producing real estate agency year after year. Call 217-735-5424 or browse listings online at merealty.com. Farm and Home Supply. Shop Farm and Home Supply for all your farm, home, and outdoor needs. Stop by at 1501 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Triplet Heating and Cooling, servicing all brands of residential and commercial HVAC systems in the Lincoln and Logan County area. Call 217-651-8683, Triplet Heating and Cooling, an authorized Bryant dealer. Hollenberry and Bennett Funeral Home, providing peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Family owned and operated by Chris and Leslie Bennett. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com. Town & Country Bank, a proud sponsor of Lincoln Railer football, Town & Country Bank helps empower the financial well-being of communities, one person at a time. Online at townandcountrybank.com. Thank you for watching WLCN's coverage of Lincoln Rail Splitter football. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.